Now that we've actually set up Mental Ray, I want to show you how you can get the most out of the material editor because you've set up Mental Ray. So before we do that, let's make a few shapes. If I click on plane, I'll draw myself a little tabletop, and then let's draw a sphere on the table, and let's have a box. There we go, that'll do. Now if I press M on the keyboard, the material editor appears, and at the moment we're using a standard material, but to get the most out of the Mental Ray renderer we need to change that to choose a Mental Ray material. Now there are several of them. We could use Arken Design, Car Paint, the glass, the Mental Ray. The typical ones that you might use starting off are Arken Design and Mental Ray. But the one we're going to look at now is the Architecture and Design choice, Arken Design. So press OK, or you can double click on the option itself. Now that that's actually slotted into there, you'll notice a big red box saying Arken Design Mental Ray. That's just telling you, it's just filling space, it's just a badge, but it's telling you that you've actually chosen Arken Design. There's lots of settings in here. Some of them are useful, some of them, well, they're all useful, some of them are immediately useful, some of them less so. But there's some templates, and these templates that you can choose from in this list actually change all these settings beneath. So you can almost ignore these things underneath and just use these settings here if you wish to. First of all, there's general appearances. Things generally have either a matte, pearl or a glossy finish. I like to translate these into paint finishes really. If you think of matte paint, glossy paint and satin finish, that's really what you've got there, matte, pearl and glossy. So it gives you a sense of what kind of finish things might actually have. So say for example we want our tabletop to be a matte finish. Let's try a glossy finish actually, let's try glossy. So we go glossy finish, and then we can say okay, what kind of colour do we want our tabletop to have. Let's have a blue tabletop. So choose the general colour here and then how strong in this bar, and you can see that it's quite reflective. Let's give it a name. Let's put tabletop, and then let's apply that. So we've got the let's go to select, got the tabletop selected, and let's press assign material to selection, which will apply the sphere to the object, sphere to the object. So press that, and there we go. If you want to see, in some cases, if you've used a picture instead of just a finish, you can actually press this, and it will show the material that you want to apply in the actual viewport. This may or may not make some difference. Let's try it. No, it hasn't made much difference in this case, but if it was a picture, then it would make some difference. Let's make another one. Again, this one, let's make the sphere. Let's use Arken Design again. Let's make the sphere, let's go with pearl, and then let's change the colour. Let's choose like a yellowy kind of colour. Let's call that yellow, and let's apply it to the object. There we go. Let's make another one, and let's make this one matte. Let's call this, let's make it red. Let's change it to Arken Design. Let's change it to matte, and let's change the colour to red. And then let's apply it. So there we are. So now that we've changed those, we can close that window down and we can actually render and see what these effects look like. So I'm going to press F9 to render this, no photon emitters in the scene. Right. That's probably because we've got global illumination set up. So I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to go to render setup, and I'm going to untick global illumination just for the moment. Render. Here we go. So we have a glossy cube with some reflection of the blue coming off. You can just about tell. Very matte red and very highly reflective surface of the table. So that's how you would use the Arken Design templates, just for basic colours without actual textures.